All right, today we're jumping into a story that kicks off with some intense corporate romance and, believe me, ends up somewhere you would never expect, with a question about the future of humanity itself. This is our breakdown of The Day After, and you are not going to see this ending coming.
So this is where it all ends up. This one line, this one question between two people that just sounds completely insane, right? But what if it's true? How in the world do you get to a point where you can say that and actually mean it? Well, to figure that out, we've got to peel back the layers of this story, starting with the world they live in, which at first seems surprisingly normal.
Okay, so before we get to the aliens and the superpowers, the story grounds itself in something we can all understand: love, money, and power. Our main guy, Kostas Alexiou, he's living this life that's just dripping with corporate intrigue and, let's say, very complicated relationships.
And, this is what's so clever about it. One minute, Kostas is dealing with offshore accounts worth millions. The next, he's navigating the emotions of being in a committed polyamorous relationship with 3 different women. It's all private jets, luxury penthouses, and some really, really intense feelings.
This line right here, it perfectly captures that vibe. On the surface, you think the story is all about this unconventional but super committed modern romance. But here's the thing. What if all of that is just a distraction? Because simmering just beneath all the money and the drama, something way, way bigger is going on.
Okay, so let's pull back the first curtain. Turns out, all that romance and business is happening inside of a massive, secret power structure that pretty much controls the entire planet. And our characters, they aren't just cogs in the machine. Oh no, they're right at the very top.
Get a load of this number. $1.2 trillion. That's trillion with a T. That's the estimated value of this secret company they're a part of. I mean, to put that in perspective, that's bigger than the entire economy of most countries on Earth. And the craziest part? Officially, it doesn't even exist.
So just think about this. This organization is the ultimate shadow government. It's completely off the books. It's not on Wall Street. It's not on any public list, yet it's the second largest company in the world by turnover. And it's all run by this very small, very secret group of shareholders who meet every couple of years to decide who's in charge. This isn't just a business, it's a hidden empire.
And there you have it, straight from Erica. They aren't just employees, they are number 3 in command of this whole secret world. So that begs the question, how do you get promoted in a place like this? Well, the answer is where this story gets seriously weird.
Yeah, so you can forget your annual performance review. To move up to the top tier of this organization, you have to pass a test, a very strange, very intimate, genetic initiation ceremony. This is the exact moment the story takes a hard left turn into some deep science fiction.
I mean, just look at how cold and clinical this whole process is. To get that big promotion, you literally submit your DNA. It gets scanned, it gets measured, and it gets checked against a central database. This isn't about your resume or your accomplishments. This organization does not care what you've done. It only cares about what you are, right down to your genes.
So for Erica, her dad was a big shot in the organization. Her test is basically just a formality. Her DNA is a known quantity, checks all the boxes. But Kostas? Oh man. When they scan his DNA, the results send absolute shockwaves through the leadership. The machines find something they have never, ever seen before, something they didn't even think was possible.
The president of the entire organization says it himself. Kostas' DNA might change everything they thought they knew. So what is it? What's so special about this guy? Well, the answer to that comes from the real leadership of the organization, who, as it turns out, are not human at all.
All right, time to peel back the final layer. You ready for this? It turns out this whole trillion-dollar secret society, this global powerhouse, it's not even run by people. It's being guided, managed, and observed by a super advanced alien intelligence.
They're called the Visitors, and they are an ancient alien race that's been secretly guarding human civilization for millennia. This entire trillion-dollar company? It's basically just their long-term science experiment to manage our DNA and guide our development.
And this timeline is it's mind-bending. We learn about humanity's supposed creators, these ancients and Lanthians, who left Earth millions of years ago. But the real key is the Visitors. For almost 500,000 years, they've been tweaking our genetic code. And now Kostas' unexpected DNA has just triggered the next phase of their experiment, a forced, rapid evolution for him and Erica.
So this is it, the climax of the story. The visitors flip a switch, and Costas and Erica undergo this radical transformation. They go from being powerful humans to being something else entirely. They become the very first of a new kind of human, the alphas.
Just look at the scale of this upgrade. We have 2 strands of DNA, they get 12. We have hundreds of genetic imperfections, they have 0. They can process 10 times more information. But the craziest part, the absolute game changer, they gain the ability to consciously change their physical bodies just by thinking about it. Can you even imagine having that kind of power?
And this new DNA, it unlocks a whole suite of powers straight out of a comic book. I'm talking telepathy, linking their minds together, modifying their own bodies, feeling the emotions of everyone around them, even controlling electronics with a thought. They become, in every real sense of the word, post-human. Which brings us right back to that quote from the beginning. In this new reality, they literally are the 2 most important people on the planet.
So, what's the very first thing you do when you gain the power to reshape your body with a single thought? Well, if you're Costas, you get very, very specific. He plans out his ideal height, his ideal weight, and, yep, his ideal penis length, right down to the centimeter. I guess it just goes to show you, even with godlike power, some goals are more personal than others.
And so, we're left with this ultimate question. After this insane journey through polyamory, secret societies, and alien conspiracies, you become a god. You can change your body, read minds, and you control a hidden global empire. So, what do you do with all that power? What happens the day after?